Our next session for you. It's titled, What Defines Me? Please welcome to the stage the first Saudi female Olympic free fencer, Lubna El Omair. And please welcome two-time world boxing champion, Amir Khan.
Awesome.
Welcome to Saudi Arabia, Amir Khan. We're so glad to have you here with us today.
Thank you very much. First of all, I want to say thank you to everybody in Saudi Arabia. It's the first time I've come to Riyadh, and I want to say it's a beautiful country.
Thank you. So, Amir Khan, why boxing? And if it weren't boxing, what would it be?
The reason I picked boxing, when I was young, at the age of maybe 6, 7, I was very hyperactive, full of energy, always used to misbehave in school, always misbehaving at home. So my father took me to the boxing club to say to me, look, burn your energy. A lot of people thought, why did my father take me to a boxing club? Because boxing is going to teach me violence, but it didn't. Boxing taught me not to fight outside, not to misbehave, and it gave me discipline.
So you started or you became famous at a very young age, 17, I believe.
Yeah, that's right.
How do you remain true to yourself with all this fame? And what are the values that you believe in the most?
You know, I'm a very simple guy. I thank Allah for all the success He's given me. And, you know, it's been 17 when everything come so early in my career. I become a household name. I couldn't walk the streets. Everywhere I go, people were like, can we take a picture? Can we take an autograph? England, Pakistan, wherever I go. And that gave me more motivation. It kind of motivated me to do more in the sport because these people are looking up to me, they like me, and they want to see me succeed. So what I did was I hit the gym hard, I trained very hard. I used that as motivation to go out there, win more fights, win more titles, and that's what I did.
Nice. So I was reading the other day about a recent study which concluded that boxing helps with self-control. As you mentioned, that you were aggressive at house, and
right.
your father decided to train you in boxing. So this study concluded that boxing helps with self-control and even boosts emotional intelligence.
That's right.
When you think of your boxing career, can you think of particular moments that help you build self-control? And are you more emotionally intelligent, Amir Khan, thanks
Definitely.
to boxing?
Yeah, definitely. I think it does make you emotionally intelligent. I mean, one thing boxing teaches you is not to fight on the streets. For example, if there's a problem happening, we are trained fighters. You know, I've been training since the age of 8. I know how to fight since the age of 8. I know how to use my hands. But what boxing teaches you is not to fight outside. Boxing teaches you to be disciplined. If there's a fight happening, I walk away. You know, that's what boxing's taught me. Whereas when I was young, I was the opposite. I used to be very hyperactive. I used to always fight. But now, with me being involved in boxing more, I don't like to have any trouble. We're very calm, we're very disciplined. And it's all about respecting people as well. I mean, just like yourself, I see you're a fencer. You're the first Saudi Olympic fencer. I mean, for you as well, discipline is a key in your sport, yeah?
True, true. Like many people used to ask me as well, like, you look like a kind person, why fencing? And I used to say that fencing is one of the safest sports, and fencing is taught me more to be more disciplined.
That's
and
right.
to have more self-control. So thanks to...
And one thing about fencing and boxing, they're very similar sports, a lot of movement and everything. You can't be angry. When you're in the sport, I mean, when you was ever fencing in the competition, were you ever angry or were you relaxed?
I used to channel my frustration or anger through inside the game, but it turns out to be a very positive thing, like channeling energy. And as you said, to channel them inside the game is better than on the street or anything.
So it's like with boxing. The one thing about boxing, people watch boxing and they think, for someone to go into a boxing ring and punch somebody, you have to be angry. But it's not. Boxing is an art. Boxing is about hitting and not getting hit. And if you're angry in a fight, if you get very angry and you try to knock your opponent out, you make big mistakes. That's one thing I've realized is never be angry in a fight. If you're gonna do a fight, like a disciplined fight, like karate, fencing, boxing, it's all about being calm, hit and move and be very relaxed.
So while competing, do you happen to have a word or a mantra that you say to yourself?
I always said to myself that work hard and never give up, that's one. And I always like to work harder than my opponent. So if my opponent's up every morning at 6 a.m., I wake up at 5 a.m., I make sure that I wake up early. And another thing I've always been doing is I like to work hard in the gym, because the harder you train in the gym or in your discipline, the easier the fight will be. That's one thing I've realized. I mean, same for you. When you do your fencing, I'm sure that you work so hard in fencing in the gym and everything that sometimes the fencing competition is easier.
Sure.
So that's what happens.
So-
Sometimes my sparring and my training is harder than the fight.
So what about like a word that you say to yourself while competing or before the competition starts?
I always remember God. I always remember Allah before I fight. God's always been there for me. And to have that inner strength and to have that strength from, from Allah and making sure that you have someone watching over you is a big help, because when you go into a boxing ring, just like fencing, when you go into a fencing competition, you're on your own. There's no one there to help you. But one thing about me is that I know that I have God on my side, and that gives me the extra strength, inner strength as well.
So has it changed over the years or it's remained the same?
It's never changed. It's the same. I still see myself, I always see myself as a champion, and knowing that God is on my side only gives me extra strength, and that's something I've always had on my side.
So you're a boxer, TV celebrity, dad, and philanthropist. How do you introduce yourself? Like, in which order do you introduce yourself, and what defines you the most?
What defines me the most is boxing. Boxing is what made me. Without boxing, I would not be here. I'm here today, sat in front of you guys, because of boxing and the success I've had in being an Olympic champion and also being a world champion boxer. But then, after that, it's my family man. All this TV star shows I do and everything. I mean, that's just fun. It's nothing more than that. I enjoy doing it, but the main thing for me is my family and boxing.
So, last question. You have started Amir Khan Foundation, which is dedicated to empowering youth. Can you tell us briefly about this foundation, and what can we do? What is the most important thing that we need to do when we try to empower youth?
So I have the Amir Khan Foundation. What I do all around the world, I build boxing academies. For example, in Pakistan, in England. By building boxing academies, I give the youth an opportunity to become something in life. The Amir Khan Foundation is helping the youth. So we build orphanages in places like Gambia, Africa, Pakistan. We travel all around the world to help the poor people, especially the youth, because we know that by helping the youth, you are giving them a future, and hopefully when they grow older, they will also help their youth and their generation. And one thing about the Amir Khan Foundation, it's not all me, it's the people that help and support me. It's the people, I stand on a stage like this, and I ask people who would like to donate, who would like to help, and who would like to show their support. It's the people who I have to thank, not me. The people help me, they motivate me to go out there and help the poor people around the world. So, alhamdulillah, I have to say, helping the poor people is something I love to do, and the youth, empowering them, giving them an opportunity. Just like yourself, I hear that you have an organization. I'd love to one day maybe do something with your organization. Maybe together we can help more people, especially in this part of the world.
It's still an initiative, and it's still at the first establishment phase, but as you said, I'd love people to contribute, and it's toward helping the underprivileged, especially in sports, and to raise awareness about sports. So I urge everyone, if you'd like to contribute to raising awareness about sports and and support them when it comes to providing sustainable training opportunities. If you are a certified coach and you'd like to volunteer your time,
Yeah.
or if you're a lover of sports that you're willing to adopt someone in sports.
And it's not only that, it's like, for example, I do boxing academies all around the world. So now, moving from India, I'm going to go to England, and also my next project is going to be in Pakistan. I own the Super Boxing League. It's a league that we have in different countries. Now, one day, inshallah, I want to bring that to Saudi Arabia. I really believe that Saudi, there's so much talent here, but the only thing is that there's not many boxing gyms. I know many Saudi people in America, in England, and they're very strong. They like to fight. You know, maybe it's in the blood. They're warriors, but the thing is, they need to have the gymnasiums. That's why now, in places like Pakistan, Asia, India, England, America, I've opened the Amir Khan academies. So maybe one day I'd love to open one over here, maybe to help the next generation of boxers to come out, because, you know, a country like Saudi Arabia with a huge, you know, I think we have a huge opportunity to have Olympic champions, to have world boxing champions. So the only thing to make this happen and to push this is by opening academies. And I'm happy to do this over here.
Thank you. We'd love to have you here in Saudi, and we'd love for this boxing gym to open up soon. And maybe I can bring my son one day.
For sure, inshallah, definitely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.